I'm hearing just roll the dice. I think that it's kind of like someone's finally making a decision without the veils of illusion, right? I think that they might have had blinkers on, is what I'm hearing, been comfort zoned by society, right? And they literally have so much more potential, so much more to give within them, right? So let's see what this is. I do see the Lover's card, okay? That was revealing itself before as well, so that makes sense, okay? So yeah, someone could be traveling right now. Okay, I think that someone's really moving away from a lack into abundance. And I'm talking about, feel like this is various things. This could be to do with someone's self-worth, but also I think it's something to do with their environment. Something's changing, whether they're actually physically moving or whether it's kind of like just they're having a different outlook, or they're managing to kind of change the situation around them. 7 of Cups as well here. So there's definitely I think someone's been thinking about this for a long time, whatever this is. I mean, it's a 10 of Pentacles. They're moving toward it. It's been taking a long time. I think that they wanted to move with something, some kind of offer, something that they're proud of, an achievement that they can present, Yeah, 6 of Wands, yeah. They've been working on something because I want to be able to present this. Almost like maybe they themselves, how they've been leveling up, but also, oh my God, I got the King of Pentacles, lots of earthy vibes here. Definitely grounded energy. I think that's another thing. Someone's working on becoming more grounded, more stable within themselves, okay? Okay, wow. Oof, the Empress. Wow. That whole top row is really going from, I've literally heard rags to riches, so I don't know if that resonates with somebody, but I feel like this is like a whole journey of somebody really going from, whether it's like, I'm hearing self-made millionaire as well. Like, this is big. Like, I'm feeling a lot of like abundant energy here. Someone really wants to receive. They've had a lot of maybe even downloads or just information around them, looking at everything that they've wanted there for so long, from a very young age. Okay, and I don't think that this is somebody who has come from a lot, if you know what I mean. I think that they've been around. Maybe that's the thing they've been working on as well, the lack mindset, scarcity, truly. Okay, the Empress is looking really, I'm getting this energy of really like seductive without actually having to try to be, just like her presence, her aura, her energy, you know what I mean? It's really beautiful. Yeah, someone's really struggled with their environment. And it could just be people around them, mindsets around them. Could even be people they've grown up with, family, that kind of thing, who've had mindsets that are just so in opposition to them, like so in opposition. They've ended up in situations where they've just constantly felt drained. I'm hearing the odd one out, drained, but also at the same time, they allowed themselves to stay in these environments as well, where it wasn't fueling them. And I think it's just from a very wounded inner child, right? That self within, those wounds from a very young age that was just keeping them there in these situations, right? Death card at the bottom of the deck. This is a transition 333 that they need to be focused on before they could move forward. And I think this is something they've been very aware of. They've had a lot of, whoever this is, there's been a lot of external parties, and they've felt really, it's almost like they're physically somewhere, but emotionally and even spiritually and mentally they've just not been there, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like they've been doing what they need to do on a physical level to be present in that environment, but it's not something that has fueled them on a deeper level at all. Okay, I think in fact this is giving that energy of they've been so internally in lack, they've been searching outside of them something to fulfill them, some validation, some kind of fulfillment, maybe even substances or just people. But my oh my, how they're coming into complete balance. I don't think someone realizes the abundance that's about to enter their life, like and I wouldn't just say that kind of thing. It's a very specific message, okay? 9 of Pentacles as well. So someone's reclaimed whatever power that they had given away, choices that they made, and yes, it was from a wounded space, right? And I think that they've clearly been putting in the work here to find this balance. And you know what? It all comes from their internal balance that they're finally finding. and when I say this has been taking a while, I mean, I feel like it feels like it's been taking a while. On the grand scheme of things, when you zoom out, that's a whole nother level. But their soul has orchestrated this very much so. And it's kind of like they're finally wanting to listen to their soul to roll that dice. Okay. There's definitely balance coming in. I'm seeing there could be something to do with monetary gains. Okay. Yeah, I think that they've had to, what they thought was a solid foundation, whether it was to do with the people around them, loved ones, a business, it was slowly but surely breaking their heart. It was draining them. Okay. And it's kind of like they were fixated on something, some kind of, maybe it was an image or person, I don't know, something that was not good for them, right? Something that maybe was like an external, looked good on the outside, but when you look inside, a whole nother level, like just not the case, right? King of Swords. Okay. Death again. Okay. I think that this is somebody who has very much transformed, and I think that actually this Empress hasn't seen this transformation. 8 of Wands, who herself has been transforming. 8 of Wands. Ooh. This one means something is coming in. This King of Swords, though, when I say bottling up emotions, that means truly bottling up emotions. Afraid to remove the mask. Afraid to reveal himself. Also, I think that this is somebody who's had external people looking in. So it's kind of like someone who's been very mindful. So maybe someone who's quite protective, which is a beautiful quality to have, right? I don't know. I think someone's been way more in their surface level energies than whatever's been happening within. Whatever's been happening within it's kind of like it's been fueling their pain and their hurt, but it's totally not what they've shown on the outside. 9 of Cups. Finally, someone's eliminating. It feels like to them they're eliminating the competition. I'm getting a lot of game energy here, rolling the dice, then maybe that maybe they've been into gambling. I don't know, because I did say this third party energy that just feels like it's been draining them. I don't know, but yeah, I think that they're finally seeing, it's like they're finally seeing stability ahead and seeing it as a real thing, not just some fantasy or illusion or something that they need to keep hidden, like a forbidden love or whatever, forbidden desire or whatever. I think that they've acted really, I would say irrationally, but I don't know if it's irrationally or whether their head has been 1,000 miles an hour. So it's like they've been acting before they've even thought about it, if that makes sense, because they've thought about what they want to do, gone to do it, but they've not actually deeply understood the impact of their behaviours, okay, and their choices, for sure. Okay, now we've got the Queen of Pentacles, King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Queen of Pentacles. Wow, the Knight of Pentacles is coming to the Queen of Pentacles and she has no idea. She doesn't see this coming. Maybe it's on some degree, she knows that somebody is there wanting something, like, or wanting to present themselves, but truly she doesn't realise the decision that is about to be made, that has not been made for a while, because someone has been in indecision mode because of the regret, the loss, the sadness. It's like they've just been swimming in this sadness, and it's just, it's like it's taken a very long time to finally regain their power and say, hold on, I can do this differently. I have it within me. Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands, to really make these changes. Right, so that Page energy is very, and you've got the Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck, so very, it's almost like a very level of self that is still working on stepping into the divine self, right? So it's very small things, again, they've been healing their inner child to be able to get their inner child to a space where they can trust themselves. Every time this energy has wanted to move forwards, they've kind of presented in a way that's just, it's kind of defaulted into those vibrations of self that are just, the masked version of self, right? So driven by maybe an impulse, showing themselves in that kind of space because that's their mask, I feel like this is someone who's worn a lot of masks, not being able to truly ground it and to sustain that grounded energy, that stability within this. And what they want to move towards now is completely, or who has completely transformed. So they know even more than anything, they need to step up. Right, this Empress energy is coming out with the Strength card as well. So when I say, and the Death card, when I say she is not who she was, I mean, she's ready for this new path ahead. She doesn't know what that looks like. She's just ready to move ahead, because her faith is in the light that she's been working so beautifully on within her, but also being able to see outside of her as well in a dark, dark world. She's no dark world, truly. You can see it here. Okay, so let's see some more. What can we expect? Oh, the Lovers. See, the Lovers card. Yeah, we spoke about that. Oh, and the King of Cups at the bottom. Yeah, this is what I mean. Someone's finally ready, and that's come out with the Nine of Cups. They want to take that, make that decision, and they want it to be from their heart space now, and they've had to eliminate so much within and externally, right? I think the external environment was massively influencing them, and I don't even know that. I think that it's taken them a while to realise that. Yeah, look at this. The moon. Say, look at this. I'm looking at this. The Moon and the Ten of Wands. So 100% there were external influences beneath the surface that were really kind of controlling, but they didn't realize they were really influencing this person's decisions and behaviors that were just, I'm hearing out of character. I'm hearing out of character specifically. So maybe this is somebody who deeply, when they actually access that emotion, wouldn't behave like this. Yeah, the Page of Cups has come out, and then the Justice card. There could have been a child involved here as well. A child involved that someone didn't know about, or maybe someone had to handle this situation very differently than what they used to, because whatever this is, there's something about this that's just not, someone has not, it's not been spoken on. There's been a lot of internal mind space, so somebody could very well be just making this up in their own mind, right? But certainly someone has had this desire to move towards this Queen of Pentacles and bring justice, truly. I think that they've been very guided to do this, but they have not been in the right space. Got the Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands. I will say that we do have the Knight of Pentacles on the table, which is why it's been a very slow-moving journey. But this is someone who has stepped up from that page to the Knight, and fell to the floor was the King of Wands. So that's saying something. And the Tower as well. So someone's definitely, I mean, when I say they've had shake-ups, like their ego has been obliterated, right? But they've really been working on their confidence. This is someone who's truly had to work on their confidence to reach a point where they understand that actually what they desire, that vision that they hold so dearly to them, that I feel like they were made to believe, kind of like people were trying to rip it away from them. Yeah, look at that. The Two of Wands has come out. They truly do want this too. They want to have a conversation. I think there's this energy of wanting it to be from the heart, but I also get this energy of, you know, I'm getting this like a friend, you know, best friends, you know. So like the energy of, you know, can I enter? Okay, just as I've said that, maybe not. I think maybe that'll be what they'll be presenting as, but with what's just come out, Queen of Wands and the Devil. When I say someone's attracted to this energy, it's like nothing before. It's very, there might be a bit of, might have had, and maybe this is why they've stayed away, a bit of obsessive tendencies. The King of Pentacles. See, now the Kings are coming out. The King and Queen of Wands, I mean, that is a huge attraction. This attraction is mutual. King and Queen of Pentacles as well. So again, they want to ground it down. The Hierophant, the Six of Wands. Oh my gosh. Knight of Cups, Six of Cups, King of Cups. Someone's really been understanding where they made decisions that, I mean, clearly they needed to make them. They had some serious lessons to learn. And this is another reason why this feminine energy entered someone's life, to finally show them that, hold on, what are you doing? I think that they were in, like, I'm seeing, you know, we like those films where you just, maybe films are important to you, you watch a lot of movies, but where you're just like in this illusion state, like almost like you're living in a dream, you know, and it's like you can't see past like the screen. This is what I meant by before the veils have been, the illusion is lifting. You know, Neptune is in retrograde as well, and that's like a really vital time for that exactly to be happening. So throughout the rest of this year, it feels like someone's really going to be stepping up. But when I say that, this temptation is a very, yeah, I mean, someone could very well have had addictions. I'm talking about the feminine energy as well here, addictions. Maybe this is something you both have, but there's alcohol is what I'm seeing, and also okay? It's just like people around you, maybe like partying, you know, and it, you know, you get so like enthralled in that lifestyle. I think maybe that could have happened. This attraction is fierce, but someone needs to, and I think they know this is why they've been taking a while. They need to be mindful of how they're fueling their forwards movements. They want it to be more stable. That was the very first thing that was coming through, you know. This is a soul connection. You could resonate with being twin souls, okay, or just a deep soul connection, okay. Let's see. Yeah, because I feel like what somebody wants to come, they want to match this energy. They want to really bring through something of equal values, what I've heard. So even if it's not the exact same thing, they want to bring something that's like really substantial, right? Something that an offer you can't refuse is what I've heard. Codependency, addictions, exactly. Yeah, someone's definitely, there's been addictions here. They really have. And that was coming through before, you know, the external influences that were really preventing someone from finally moving forward. They kind of kept falling back into this space of, back into, it's like it was a weakness within, but it was basically just drawing on their hurt, you know. I'm just thinking about, there's this devil card, but in the other devil card, you've got the, you know, he's got that thing with the fire. I forget what it's called, but it's got the fire. It's a staff. You know, it's like somebody was just, like the fire was drawing them in constantly. Every time they felt like an upheaval within their emotions, they were drawn back to these codependent ways, you know, addictions. And it could, yeah, deception, the masks that keep coming through. They haven't been honest about this. So I think that they feel a lot of shame about this is what's here as well. That's why it's been beneath the surface. They've been carrying this, could have been a very long time, you know, even a decade, a 10-year cycle. 2010 could have been important maybe for somebody, it's an important year for something. But definitely, even the age of 10, something they've carried for a long time. And it's been what's been fueling their external, what's been motivating them, that's the word I was looking for. It's been their motivations have been led by this. And so much so that even they've got caught up in it, and they've not so caught up in it that it became like this thing that they just easily went to, you know, and it started fueling them, making them feel better, but ultimately it was something that had a hold on them. Yeah, it's heavy. They've not had the right people around them. They've really not, and that came up before, unrequited love as well. They went to, I think if they spoke about this, they went to the wrong people who just didn't understand. And yeah, or maybe they're just environments where they couldn't even be honest, or felt like they couldn't be. Make the effort, okay? So great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to. And again, at the bottom of the deck, we've got it's safe for you to love. So somebody, when I say that stable stability, someone recognizes that they need and they want to offer safety in this love, or whatever this offer is that they want to move forwards, because it might be presented in different ways, okay? But whatever it is that their heart is truly wanting to move towards and is calling them, they really desire from their heart space, right? I'm talking higher level, just like higher level as well, you know, that Hierophant was peeking through before. It's not just like a whim or, you know, a fantasy or a lusty thing. Like someone really desires this from their heart, okay? Which suggests that their soul is calling them here. That's why you had that soul card as well. It's your soul person, a soul person, right? Yeah, release your ex. They were putting the efforts in the, I wouldn't say wrong place, but a place where it's just, clearly again, they needed the lessons, but, oh, they've all fallen. Got separation at the bottom of the deck is what I was going to say. So yeah, there was a separation here, and I think it's because somebody was still dependent on these external energies. It could have been, again, that third party energy is coming through. Someone really made a decision and they bore the weight of it. They truly did. They really did. And actually, if anything, again, I'm going to say use the word obsession, because I think that's how it felt at the time. The obsession for this Empress energy, that where they want to move now, was just getting even more ignited, even more deeper and such. They were like sitting in it even more, marinating in it, if you will. Maybe food is important for somebody. To be fair, we've got a lot of Taurus on the table, and you know, Taurus and food is a match made in heaven. So good food. Yeah, I think that they were falling. And just as I said, that Alicia Keys falling came into my head. So I do think this is someone has been going back to again and again. It's kind of like the in and out situation. Love yourself first. They weren't loving themselves at all. This was not operating from self-respect. They were operating from wounds. They were feeling in lack very soon. I think that something is changing for sure. I mean, like I said, this is in transition right now. It truly is. Someone's breaking through the molds. They're clearing through their head space and their heart space so they can truly step into that courageous energy. It's not just a mask anymore. You know, they can be fueled by their honesty. And also this clearer path ahead, okay? Trust. Yeah, this situation is calling for you to have faith right now. You have to have faith. I think that you kind of disconnected from this, you know, that retreat energy, because I think that you felt that this is what somebody had to do. They had to handle this by themselves, okay? Which was a beautiful thing for you to do, because you have truly stepped into your power chemistry. Magnetic pull is still there. You both feel it. Both do. It's strong, but you don't want to be led by that. So that's why you're kind of like, okay, again, attraction, past life relationships. So of course, it's going to be attraction. Again, it's a soul connection, deep soul connection. Okay. There's something about being present that's going to be important. So like not getting caught up with the past, not getting stuck in the past. Yeah, especially with everything that's been happening. I mean, this is addictions, you know, third parties. There's been a lot going on. That parties has already come through. So I definitely think somebody had a bit of a, like, I'm hearing letting loose, but it's kind of like it was fueled by that excuse to just avoid what was happening beneath the surface. The deeper emotions, show the world the real you. They weren't being the real self for a reason. This is why beautiful Empress energy here, who's really showing up in her glow, is really actually, whereas it might have been, I don't want to use the word intimidating. It's not the best word to use when, you know, you want to come together as equals, right? But it might have been intimidating to somebody at one point, or they might have just felt like it was too much. Again, not the best word to use, but there you go. I think that maybe the people around them were telling them the exact same thing. Again, wrong advice. Really not the people that were aligned with them on a soul deep level. Confidence is your key to success. We've got Leo and then we've got Aquarius energy as well here, okay? So, again, that King of Wands energy, someone's really stepping into their power to move towards this space and to be honest about what's been happening with everything. And they've really had to control their temptations. Have faith in your dreams. Just came out, fell on the floor. But I do think that's exactly was the problem. They didn't have faith in their dreams. And the people around them weren't exactly supporting them for that either. You know, they weren't seeing that luck is on your side, Sagittarius energy. And so they kept falling back into the little pulls, substances, and again, and substances is what's coming through here specifically, okay? I mean, I did mention gambling before, I don't know, maybe that was caught up in it as well, you know? You can kind of spiral sometimes when you're in that headspace, or even just in that, your body's stuck in that space, your sacral chakra, you know, that, it's just a lot of energy surging there, and it's just like, you don't know how to release it healthily, right? Be bold and make the first move. So much courage energy here. Someone's really, I've heard they're battling with themselves, and I think that they've been battling with themselves for a while here, truly. I don't think their communication is as strong. It's, well, when it comes to this specific situation, and maybe anything to do with their heart, communication is not their strong point. Now, I say that because I feel like with this, like, King of Wands energy, you know, maybe they're confident with external parties when they've got their masks on. That's the difference, okay? You're very close to achieving your goal. Getting very hot in this reading, so maybe summer's going to be important, or maybe someone's just, yes, there's a lot of heat, attraction for each other, something else, or maybe it's that shame energy that was coming through. Someone's really, like, not feeling confident, but I think this is what they're building. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Take time to breathe out. Look at the bigger picture as well. And this is that heavy weight that someone's been carrying. That's what's coming to a close. What is going on? This is clearly the energy of this person. Like, it's erratic. It's been erratic, kind of all over the place. This is why it's like, take time to breathe out. They know they need time. They need to step back sometimes because they're fueled by the wrong things. Again, that word keeps coming through, wrong. Maybe they use that a lot. Or maybe they've been told that a lot. I don't know. But a personal issue reaches resolution. Step out of your comfort zone. Courage again. Cancer energy as well, Capricorn. Yeah, I think someone wants to look ahead. They truly do. And it's time, they're understanding that it's time to really stop dwelling on the past. And that's why roll the dice to move forwards, not just staying stuck in it and in a space where you're just internally by yourself, stuck in this energy and just trying to work through it by yourself. Instead, actually roll that dice. You don't know the light that could be on the other side of this cycle, the world that wants to open up to you, okay? And I think this is what someone's really understanding, which is why they're really, I think that there's some kind of maturity happening within them when it comes to, understanding their emotions and accepting what they've been through as well. So they can truly take this beautiful roll the dice, right, towards their heart's desires now. And this is what they want to do. But I will say this attraction is fierce. Be mindful that you're not led by that, because there's still something that needs to be cleared out here, truly. So love yourselves. When you love yourself, you accept nothing less. You'll understand that actually if you love me, or you want the same for me as I do for me, then you'll treat me as such, right? And it's a two-way thing, right? And again, it's not about misuse and abusive treatments. That's not like you loving yourself or loving another kind of thing, you know what I mean? Love is like so complicated, and especially when all of that comes into play, so I don't really want to go there. But that's not what this is, right? That's what I need to make that clear. This is very much a fierce attraction where someone has really had a lot of external energies that they've had to truly handle beneath the surface, and it's all been fueled by wounds. It always is, right? They've finally been addressing those, and they want to make the effort to move forward. You've got to trust their journey, to trust their timing. Yeah, and trust that they're doing the best thing that they need to. Whilst they do that, you focus on you find the joy in your life. You fuel you fulfill the needs of your inner divine feminine, right? By accessing your divine masculine, taking the required action, right? And it's not easy. It's not just like you're honest with yourself, so you can close up the cycles that you need to as well, so you can move forwards as well and not hold anything or anyone back in those wounded spaces, right? Vulnerability means, you know what, you're safe here. Yeah, so again, it's that safety that's going to be so paramount, okay, as you move forwards. Someone's learning some lessons, truly, but they're doing it in a positive way now, but they're making changes to move forwards. A reminder that divine feminine energy does not lead by manipulating, seducing, luring at all. She's in her glow. She knows her worth. She recognizes what is in her alignment, so she can receive that. It's really important to remember that, because there's this energy where someone really has had to deal with so much of those pulls on their sacral energy. This is not what they need more of. Quite the opposite. Yeah, they've allowed situations to keep coming in and out of their life because they didn't see their worth, right? This has been a heavy process. They've had to learn a lot of hard lessons, truly. Which means that once they devote themselves to their divine path, they're going to have some serious, like, beautiful work to do moving forwards. And it's going to bring balance in a place where I think, like, bringing trust externally outside of them as well, not just, like, within, right? There's something about that, maybe to you in this connection, okay? So be mindful of that. You're not here to just be lusted after and desired, right? And you're not here to manipulate others in that space either, okay? It's knowing your worth. You don't need to do that. You really don't. Stay in your light. Trust your path. Trust your glow. Someone's really gathering the courage to make this decision and not be pulled away by illusions and fantasies and falsity that they're creating in their mind or others around them are creating, right? And also they've been working on clearing to their headspace about how they see this Empress energy, so they can move forwards and not think anything other than, you know what, the pure divine light of what they're seeing and moving towards and being guided by, what's calling them, right? Again, it comes back to their own heart, their worth, okay? There are multiple things that someone is coming to a resolution with in their life, okay? And this is what's truly allowing them to release the negativity, the heaviness of whatever it is, those binds, right? The heavy pulls on them. And this is what's going to help them to really make the adjustments that are required now for this beautiful cycle that's ahead. As they do this, as they clear through this now, okay? Just be mindful, because it's not easy to clear through a lot of what they're handling, okay? And this is something that they'll be mindful of as they continue their journey, even with you, okay? Self-respect is a really big message here. So you need to stay in your self-respect as well, because it's going to help somebody else understand that they need to stay in theirs too, right? It's going to help them feel more fueled to have this, it's like they have reason to stay in their self-respect as well, right? It's kind of like you're teaching someone without realizing, okay? Pay attention to your dreams. Prayer will help this situation, okay? So hold faith. Yeah, stay in your light. Let me know if this reading was for you. Sending love.